Hola, bon dia, alegria. Carl Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show from expatsportugal.com. Couple of things to share with you before the main event. The main event today is Frank and Rachel live from the glorious Algarve. And yes, you're quite right to wonder what was happening, Dominique. I set the show up yesterday, I'm sure. And then when I went to set it up this morning, it wasn't there. So I had some quick work to do. I think all is well now. We struggled yesterday, didn't we, to play any videos. I'm going to try one now. A couple of messages from the north before we go south to talk to the lovely Rachel and Frank. So the first of which is this message from our friend Vitor Costa. Remember him? The real estate agent up in the north. Look at this beautiful view he has to share of the north of Portugal.
Hello everyone, I'm Vitor, your Portuguese real estate agent, and I just wanted you to see this lovely view of where I live, which is right there, Ponte de Lima. You can also see the highway from there, which connects Porto, Viana do Castelo, Braga, and pretty much anywhere in the country. You got a lot of peace and quiet here. There's a lot of places to choose from. And my only question to you is, are you sure you don't want to live here? Give me a call.
That's great, isn't it? Are you sure you don't want to live here? Give me a call. Very compelling stuff. And from those lovely people at Kuwudu, staying in the north for just a moment longer, there's Kimberly, who is on tour. We saw their wonderful video of them arriving in Portugal last week. They decided to follow a tip from me and travel the N2. And they're barely into Portugal. And they keep getting distracted by wonderful things up there in the north. So they're having a great time on the N2. We will hear more from them. If you want to stay directly connected to their journey in Portugal, go to kuwudu.info, which actually is quite a difficult thing to spell or possibly open to some misinterpretation. So I will pop that in the comments right away. It's in there for you now. So there's Kimberly. We'll see more of her and Phil in due course as we hear more about their journey into Portugal. And here are some people who have been in Portugal for a little while now. Our wonderful friends, Frank and Rachel. How are you guys going from the north to the south now? What, is that a glass of wine already, Frank?
Well, it's champagne, as you do in Algarve, man. Well, I'm not allowed to do anything else but this in the morning.
This is the government-approved breakfast. Mimosas.
It's the Prosecco Peggy-approved breakfast.
Oh, absolutely wonderful. And the first of the Frank has come in. So a bit of a mystery has been solved here. You were MIA, which we thought was missing in action. We had so many lovely chats, didn't we? You were in the wine club, both of you, of course, and Frank used to join me on a Monday to talk about food on the food tour. Then, look, here's another one. Frank, you disappeared for a little while. MIA, missing in action. Turns out that A stands for missing in Algarve. What can you catch us up with what's been going on with you two? So what's happening?
Well, last time we talked, we were in Coimbra. We were Lisboa, planning a move to Coimbra. And
then a friend of ours suggested quite strongly that Coimbra is the place for you to go. Yes. It's a wonderful place. And you know me, I listen to my friends. Yeah. Go ahead.
And so just to summarize, I remember very well that day we said, oh, Portugal is such a small country, like weather-wise, it doesn't make a lot of difference if you go a little bit north, a little bit south. It turns out we were wrong. Coimbra is amazing. It's a beautiful city, but it was a little bit more rainy than what we wanted. So here we are in the Algarve now.
What a journey. And I mean, you really can speak from your own experience, having tried the capital, central Portugal, Coimbra, and now it looks like the Algarve has won your heart. Is that right?
That is totally right. And plus, you know, you can't be immune to Prosecco Peggy's charms. And they welcomed us so nicely.
Yeah, we before like coming over here, Peggy sent me a message, and she was like, "Frank, you got to come over here. You got to come Algarve a visit." And I was like, "Yeah, we got to do that." And then she, like, to entice me, she sent me that wonderful shot of her kitchen. She was like, "And you can cook in this kitchen, Frank." So I was like, "Oh, this is going to be amazing."
And the barbecue.
And the barbecue, right?
Mhm.
So then we went and went for a visit, took her up on the offer. We went and saw it, and it's so amazing. Well, in the past a few months, especially, they're Dave and Peggy. They're like family now, because the thing is, coming over here and seeing how Algarve is, and seeing it from the perspective of someone who has lived over here for a while. You see so many things. Peggy was able to show us the different beaches, how life is over here. And overall, we loved it. Everything about it, we loved. Coimbra, as Rachel said, is a wonderful town. It's got a lot to offer. But sometimes you kind of feel like you are back in England. With all the rain and with all the fog and stuff like that. And we've actually compared the weather day to day, like how it goes. And it wasn't really for us coming from Canada.
Yes, coming from Canada, weather was a huge part of our decision to move somewhere sunnier, or I shouldn't say Canada because it's a huge country, but coming from Toronto, a sunnier place, and we found it over here in the Algarve.
I still don't get it. I
Can't go wrong with it, Carl.
No, I still don't get it. So it's got good weather, beautiful sunshine, beaches, friendly people, Prosecco for breakfast. I still don't get it. What's so great about the Algarve?
It's a wonderful place. Plus, for us, the other angle also was when we first arrived last year from Canada. We wanted to launch our business. We wanted to basically get into see if we can invest in a property or two. And during this COVID thing, we were not able to. During this period, we did a move to Coimbra as well. And we realized that even as far as properties go and as far as what we were looking at, it would not fulfill what we had in mind as a business or where we wanted to live. First of all, the important thing is before you even start a business, what we have now realized is you really, really need to fall in love with the place in order for you to invest and set roots. So for us, this really, really did make sense.
Okay, got it. Sorry, Rachel, go on.
And also the Algarve is there's lots of variety. If you go east to west, or if you go from the coast up to the mountains. So we came first, we rented a car and we drove around. We saw the different places. Each place has different characteristics. And we picked a place that we really, really loved.
This message comes to you from Algarve Tourism.
Well, I've noticed. I hope they sponsored the Prosecco this morning, because they should. They definitely should. Okay, I'm beginning to get it now. I'm beginning to overcome my Algarve prejudice. And you, of course, you mentioned starting a business, and we'll talk about that. So there's a lot of angles here. You know, there are these wonderful people have lived in Lisbon. They lived in Coimbra. They come from Canada. They are travelers from other parts of the world as well. You're global people, and now you're in Portugal, and you've narrowed down the search, fallen in love with the South, and have successfully. I think part of the Prosecco. I mean, when you're celebrating, do you drink double Prosecco? Is that how it works? Because you're celebrating opening your first Airbnb gig, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so we can find out more about that.
And yeah, it's the Espumante that's extra reserva, just the way you like it, or just the way your wine guy sells it to you.
Absolutely.
Your wine chaperone guy. So,
just like Jonathan recommends, yes, indeed. Well, congratulations to you both. So questions from all those angles, folks. Canadians, people who've lived all over Portugal, started a business now, started an Airbnb, because that's a dream for a lot of people. It's good to have a bit of income. It's good to be involved in the tourist industry here. And that's exactly what Frank and Rachel have done. So let's see. I think we've got a few hellos and welcome backs for you both here. Bon dia todos from Amsterdam this morning. Amsterdam. From Matthias there. Bon dia. Looks like we're 10 minutes early. Time to get the kettle on. Yes, sorry. Like I said before, the show just disappeared. for this prodigal return special with Frank. And actually, I covered Ze Povinho yesterday, who you've been likened to, Frank. Does that make any sense to you? Do you know the Ze Povinho character?
No, I don't. But it's something. If it's Carl Munson who's relating me to Ze Povinho, it has to be something out of this world.
Well, here he is. If I can just share with you on the screen.
Nice, thank you.
That's, no, I mean, not to look at, not visually, but this is. I was telling everybody about this man yesterday. He is the Portuguese everyman who eschews pomposity and corruption, and you can see from his Iberian slap gesture there that he likes to stick it to the man. Something folk hero, you know the everyman of Portugal. And it wasn't me that made the first likeness between you and that great folk hero. First conceived of in, I think, the 1700s in Portugal. So he is entrenched in Portuguese culture. And not only does he not suffer fools gladly at the highest level, he won't have any truck with the petty goings on of everyday people as well. So I think that's you, the everyman, the guy who sticks it to the man, but also won't take any nonsense from the likes of his fellow men as well. I think that's a fair description. Don't you, Rachel?
That's a fair spin, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ze Povinho there. So Capricorn 12 also saying hola, bon dia, good morning. Look at you two. I'll just get my water. Cheers. Sold. Parabéns.
How's the dry year starting?
Yum. What is it? 20, take away 20 from 365. I've got 345 days to go before I'll be drinking with you again. So, hola, bon dia.
We had planned on making mimosas, but then we said, no, forget the orange juice.
Yeah, but it's orange juice is for girly man. We do the proper prosecco.
There's your Ze Povinho right there. Don't be adulterating decent booze with orange juice. Hola, bon dia. Yeah, give that to the children. Hola, bon dia. Good morning, Portugal. The exciting way to start your day from Capricorn 12, who's working on a jingle, I think, practicing there. Bon dia from Sonia G as well. Good morning to you, Sonia. Jim White in Baltimore. Bon dia, todos. There's going to be a lot of these folks, so sip on your espumante, because there's a lot of people who want to say hello to you this morning. Okay, yeah, we figured that out, Dominique. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone from Gemini Bradshaw. Bon dia, Lisboa. Jana da Silva. Hey, Jana, how lovely to have your company this morning. And great to hear from you in Lisboa this morning. Bon dia, Carl from Lauren. The loves are in the house as well. Good morning to you, Andrew and Lauren. Dominique Core with some fingers crossed there. We need that at the moment. We have a few glitchy moments in the last 48 hours. Bon dia, alegria a todos from that Facebook user. Who are you? Bon dia from a misty Oliveira do Hospital, not hospital. Anyway, from ODH this morning, John May is over there. We don't often hear from Oliveira do Hospital. Where is the big lush? I have missed him so.
I missed you too, Garbo.
Who is that aimed at, I wonder? Little Monkeys Portugal. Not heard from you guys before. And I need to cough. Excuse me. Hold on 1 minute. I spared you that. Bon dia, another glorious day in Portugal. And an elbow cough there. That's what I should have done. The correct way to do it in these current times. Edmundo, tell us more about yourselves, Little Monkeys Portugal. And Edmundo, he's down your way. And actually, since you're down there, I have lots of people who want to meet you and buy you beer, Frank, which I'm sure you approve of. I've got a little queue forming, if that's all right. If we can borrow him, right?
That's great. The beer queue is always great.
Get him out from under your feet for a few hours, Rachel. Good morning, Carl from Edmundo. And I'm sure that's extended to you both as well. And I suspect you're going to meet Edmundo. He does transfers all around the Algarve. We may well be bringing people to your Airbnb at some point. Bon dia, Carl from Ian Turner. Yes, Frank. And all entertaining a 7-year-old for the next couple of days. So won't be about much. Have a great day. And I'll catch up with you on Friday. Fantastic, Ian. Lots of love to you and the family. Victoria, bon dia todos from a starry night. Still a starry night in Atlanta. Isn't that lovely? Patricia Gorst is here. Mornings. And one of these, Frank from Stephen. Look, Prosecco Peggy is in the house. So are you actually in the Prosecco Peggy, a Casa de Prosecco Peggy, or are you in your own place now?
No, we're in our own place.
This is the one that's being launched, or this is your other accommodation?
Yes, this is the one that is being launched. So we thought before we were to put it on Airbnb and whatever, we thought we'd come and stay over here for a few days, make sure that everything is based on our standards. For now, yeah, it's a very, very nice place, but for next year we've got some plans for the property. But yeah, it's exactly the place.
Well, we're going to want that listing ASAP. Missing you guys from the Facebook user. So as well as a Frank, there's a Rachel as well. Andy's here as well with the same, with a Frank and a Rachel too. Not to be left out there. Mike Campion, bon dia from Mike and Maggie. Countdown to the move. First week of January continues. That's fantastic. Oh, and thank you, John. Go! Great to hear about your D7 journey, John. So lovely to see you, Frank and Rachel.
Hi, Victoria.
Hey, Victor.
Morning all from Fiona Worrell, Central Portugal. Frank, Rachel, make your way to Sagres. Check out the Atashka restaurant in the fishing harbour. Have you been over to Sagres yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. We've the first time or two when we came over here, we drove across.
Yeah.
We went to Portugal.
Yeah.
We went to quite a few different places. Sagres we did not.
Yeah, we have been east to west, all the way from Portugal to Tavira. But we haven't been between Tavira and the Spanish border and Portugal and the coast.
So Sagres, we got to go check Sagres out. We got to go check Sagres out, go to a Tasca restaurant, go to the kitchen and take a few pictures.
Yeah, okay, that's a great recommendation. Keep them coming, folks. So any questions about the Algarve, any questions for these lovely folks about Lisbon, Coimbra, or the Algarve, and opening up an Airbnb, bring them in through the comments. Have they adopted you? So yes, Prosecco Peggy. So there is something of an adoption going on. Is this available?
The adoption papers are with Camera. And they're looking at it, and I think they will be approved soon. It depends what kind of nata they have in the morning, but it'll get approved.
Well, I'm glad you're vetting them carefully and seriously. And of course, no prizes for guessing what the celebratory drink will be upon successful adoption there. Bon dia from Jed Sloan. Good morning to you, Jed. The Algarve here says, where are we? Yes, says Mike Campion, is where we're heading for in January 2022. Can't wait. I think you might be a bit of a, but you're going to be a bit of a landing pad, aren't you, for people coming to the Algarve, because you're known by this community. It's looking like good business for that particular Airbnb there.
Well, that is one idea, but the other main important idea is I kind of feel that Algarve and Peggy was the first one to point this out. Algarve has a very interesting PR situation where a lot of folks, they kind of feel that, oh, it's the sun and beach and there's nothing else, and there's Albufeira, there's a lot of crazy partying and whatever. We're in the town called Portimão, and this particular town, the reason why we really, really love this town, it's once again like Coimbra, a small, big town. It's got everything that will be available in any town. And the prices, the one thing about PR that I was talking about, everyone thinks that central Portugal is much cheaper. Algarve is very expensive. It's very touristy. And we haven't found that. It's very traditional. It's possibly the prices are pretty much the same as in Coimbra that we have seen for many things. Actually, the properties are a little bit cheaper over here than in Coimbra.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. And I guess as well, for those people who think they need to go up to central Portugal for a quinta, there are very remote parts of the Algarve as well. Maybe the Algarve-Alentejo border, there might be a few bargains there too.
Absolutely. You don't, obviously a lot of folks don't want to be right at the beach. It could be Lule, it could be a lot of these little towns around here, and you can get bargains. The thing with Coimbra was, and this is when we moved over there, what we realized is that there's not a lot of inventory as far as real estate is concerned in the market. So that's why the prices are very high for what you're getting over there. And when you come to the Algarve, you see a lot of properties. The property market is very different. There's a lot of inventory, and the inventory moves very quickly.
Ah, good to know. Okay, thank you for that. Challenging many of my stereotypical ideas in my mind. Thank you very much indeed.
Carl. Yeah, Carl.
I know. I hold my hands up to it. Though. Good morning, all. We love the Algarve, and we have friends and family there. Lucky other people who've got friends and family all over Portugal, right? This is how it works, I think, for Portuguese people.
If I may shatter another idea you may have is that there is a community here. People think, it's on these towns are only for summertime, but
there's a full community. It's the activities, the feiras that you have in central Portugal, where you have these farmers markets and whatever. For every day of the week, there's a different feira, food. Over here, there is the F1 in Portimão. So many things happening. It's so many things happening over here.
Yeah, marvelous. All right, so Debbie's here as well, and a very important part of the Algarve community. Good morning from the sunny Algarve. Welcome, Frank. You won't regret it. There you go. Isn't that great? Antonio F, who I think sent some pictures of beautiful Tamar last week. Is that where you live, Antonio? You don't have to say, but I just wondered if you're traveling there or if that's where you live and that's where you're saying bon dia from this morning. Donna over there in Azores, bon dia, and congratulations, Frank and Rachel from McLaughlin there. That's great. Mark Stoll, bon dia, todos. Very good. Use of the Portuguese, Mark. So sat in the Algarve near Algarve and just setting up our Airbnb T3 overlooking our orange groves now. Soon to be pomegranates, then nuts, but it's pick and squeeze your own. That sounds nice, doesn't it? I think we've got a little bit of an Airbnb tour between us. So someone else who's been through that journey. Bon dia from Maryland this morning, from Branca Castillo. Little Monkeys is Margarita. Oh, okay. Excellent. Thank you very much, Margarita. Another string to your bow, which I didn't know about there. Good morning, all, from the wonderful insurance man, Nuno Mendes, who I have to say, Frank, you and I had a little conversation about fairy godmothers giving people cars yesterday, didn't we? And I needed to get it insured. And from my own experience, I can say with Nuno, he said, send me this, send me that, send me that. You know, the usual sort of documents and names and things that you would have. The vehicle details, and all done and dusted with a very competitive and excellent quote, which I'm taking him up on. So well done, Winsurance. Well done, Nuno. Thank you for your excellent service yesterday. Will Thompson, bon dia, Frank and friends. Another day in paradise. It's all good news today. Clear skies ahead. I recommend a week by Pedrogo Grande Barragem to everyone. In fact, I've had a picture just in from you, Will, which is great. I think as we go out today, you get about, Will, don't you? I have you as a Silver Coast guy at the moment, but he sent a couple of pictures of the Barragem there, which is, I think I've had a little dip in there, but that's something we can show later on, and there's a campsite in the town. Good, Will, you're getting a bit of R&R, which is fantastic. Bon dia, question for the loves. Did your second canine Nimbus arrive in Portugal? I can say that Nimbus certainly did arrive safely in Portugal, but you may wish to answer that, Andrew and Lauren in the comments. Missing you guys. It was from me, Penny. Have you got a message for Penny?
This is to Penny as well.
Yeah, Penny will thoroughly approve of sipping a bit of fizz in the mornings. Bon dia alegria from the lady who gave us that phrase, the wonderful Philomena, who we'll see soon. Any outside pictures, Maxine says. Morning to you, Philomena, by the way. Thank you for joining this morning. Are there any outside views you can show us, or are we going to hold those until you get your official listing up online?
Well, the listing is actually up online. I don't know if you've got the link. The listing is up and running, and I think it should be there with you. Do you want me to send it to you again?
That'll be really good, because you know what it's like these days, multiple platforms. I'm sure you have sent it to me, but I'll need to check 27 different platforms, including Signal, Telegram, WhatsApp, etc., Messenger, to find it. If you could do that for me, Frank, that'd be great, because other people need to see that. And yeah, and I can put that up on screen and show a few of the outside pickies as Maxine is asking for there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Johnny, good bon dia alegria a todos from the wonderful paradise Penamacor. So many competitors for the title of Portuguese paradise, right? Each to their own, but so many to choose from. And good morning to you, Johnny. Sounds like you're settling in beautifully. Bon dia, scheduled for a remote apartment viewing in the Algarve on Saturday. Keep fingers crossed. Anna, good morning to you, and good luck with that. Absolutely. Okay, lots of lovely comments coming in. Let's read a few more of them. Bon dia, todos from Emilia Romagna in Italy this morning. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Yeah, buongiorno, Italia. Bon dia from Jacqueline CDM as well over this way on the Silver Coast. Thank you, Will.
I just sent it to you, by the way, Carl, on your WhatsApp.
You're the best. Absolutely. Look who's on the screen. Frank and Rachel in the Algarve. Mrs. M's here. Thought she's bringing me a coffee.
Louisa.
Hey, Louisa.
They're saying Bon dia alegria to you. And okay, so I'm gonna cut and paste that link now to the Airbnb and also bring it up on screen myself. How difficult a process is it joining Airbnb? Not only the Airbnb side, but the alojamento local, the AL thing that you need to do. How was that for you guys?
It's been a learning experience because it's a totally different line of work for us, as you know. So, we had to apply for the license, and that part was a little bit. It's easy, but sometimes it can take a little bit of time.
All right, I'll put it in the Canadian way. So what basically happened, Rachel is being really, really Canadian. So what basically ended up happening is when we purchased, and this can happen when you are purchasing a property. Usually some properties already have their AL license. And when we purchased this property, the gentleman we purchased from, the deal was that, we would get the AL license from him and we would just convert it to our name. Yeah. Well, what turns out is the wonderful gentleman, right after we had purchased it, we found out that he had actually canceled his AL number. And we had already filed all the information in and everything. Yeah. And when we called him to ask what's the deal over here, what did he say? He said, "Yeah, you're completely right. I just did it out of impulse." And I was like, wow, I sometimes feel I'm impulsive as well, but I do other things when I'm impulsive, not that. Yeah. So it was quite interesting.
Yeah. So the process to transfer the license from one person to the other is very, very simple.
Much simpler.
Yeah. But because he forgot that he had agreed to that on the sale contract of the apartment.
So we had to that delayed us by another 12 to 13 days, I think.
Or 2 weeks maybe.
Because we had to then wait, and because of COVID, a lot of other paperwork like your deed officially from the Camera Finances was a bit delayed. So what ended up happening is we had to put it under our name. So these kinds of things, when we came to Portugal, as you do in any new country you go to, you're kind of ready yourself for what's going to happen. Like things are not going to be very predictable. You're ready yourself, but certain things are like it's an unpredictability cake sometimes that you will eat. That is heavy. It's heavy frosting of chocolate and unpredictability. It's you never know what you're going to come across, but you keep your chin up and you keep on working at your goal that you want to do. Because sooner or later, one of the things was when we went to get the AL license, Rachel went in, and on that day, all the documents were fine. On that day, the lady looks at her and she goes, "Oh, you don't have this," and whatever. We talked to each other. We said, "You know what, we'll go back to this office on Monday. Let's see what happens." On Monday, she went and saw the same lady again, and the same lady approved. That's almost the same paperwork. Yeah. So it's very interesting. You have to, it's a wonderful country, and you have to understand that it won't be like what you remember back home. Things will be a little bit different, and that's why we love Portugal, right?
Well, it sounds like oh, it's a bit of an echo there. It sounds like you've come up with some perfect culinary metaphors for the processes you're going through there, the chocolate dusting and so on. And you've acclimatized. You've allowed time for these things, and it's best not to get too wound up or have your gears ground too much by these things. Just get in line with the culture, and these things will happen in time. Calma, tranquilo, definitely a good practice. Good practice.
Like wherever you go in the beginning, the first 6 months, whenever I used to hear calma, I used to look around. I'll be like, "You calma yourself. I ain't calma." And then But then after 6 to 8 months, you kind of start going to yourself, you know what, you do need to calm down. And we need to kind of wind down too. What I think in our countries, and I say UK, Canada and the US, we don't leave because of the laws and regulations, because of all the different, oh, this is the law over here, you don't do that. There's not a lot of room left for humanity or human error or things like that. And over here, what I find is that there's a lot of room left for that. Where like you'll go to the person, they'll be like, well, that is the rule, but today I'm sitting in front of you and I haven't had a good coffee today. So why don't you come back in 2 hours and maybe we'll fix that.
That's right. That's right. Get ready for that. And I had a similar experience myself yesterday. Not quite like that, but I felt at the mercy of such an approach, should we say. And as I went to register my vehicle with the matriculation certificate, and I gave the pieces of paper over that were necessary after a short wait, which was perfectly fine. And the lady did the things and basically then said, that'll be €65. And it was done and dusted. And the only thing I could think of to say was what I'd seen on a pizza. It said facile et bon, like easy and good. And the phrase came to mind. I thought, okay, I'm going to try that here. Like that was easy and that was really good. And I said,
I heard that.
Este facile et bon. And both of them looked up like this. And maybe they know that pizza phrase and they were not too happy to be likened to the convenience of cooking a pizza. But it really was great. When it goes well, doesn't it? Lovely smiles, easy going, get your paperwork done and dusted. It doesn't always go like that, but it can do. Pamela Smith, bon dia from a sunny Alcabasa. Fantastic. Great to hear from you, Pam. And Algarve produced like oranges and lemons are amazing. Oh, Algarve produce like oranges and lemons are amazing. Is that true?
Yeah. All types of fruits here are delicious.
The fruits, the different varieties of cherries, almonds. It's unbelievable.
And now it's fig season, and the figs here are absolutely amazing.
Okay, that's good to know. And so obviously you're in culinary heaven there, Frank, with so many wonderful ingredients.
If you haven't been to the Portimão Mercado Municipal, make sure to visit.
It's becoming my new hub. Because the farmers show up over there on the Friday and the Saturday, and we usually go there. There's like this little place, and it's very quaint. That's why I say there's a lot of local traditional stuff happening. There's a little boteco, like a tasca kind of place, where it's just standing room only. And you just have like a carne asada in a nice sandwich or bifana, and you have like a nice cold beer, and you're like rubbing elbows with like everybody else, and it's just unbelievable, the atmosphere. The fish guy is coming from on that other side, picking up his sandwich. Two people are having a beautiful argument that you could be witness to, or you can join in. It's amazing.
Oh, I can see you there. So sorry, Rachel, go on.
Apparently, there is a very good bifana there. It was recommended to us by an Uber driver, but every time we've been, sold out. So it must be good.
And also, if you've been a few times and they're sold out, it must say something about their confidence and unwillingness to exploit the market. When they're gone, they're gone. Calma, tranquilo, no big deal.
Yeah.
Well, and the guy, the way he says it, that it's done. It's not like, well, well, maybe you can come tomorrow, whatever. He goes, too late, we're done today. All right.
Yeah.
So, how about you shush off right now, and you come back in 2 days.
Come back when we've got some. Amazing. That's confidence, isn't it? And I've got, in years to come, Frank, I've got a picture of you in mind, not stood in that Tashka that you talked about, but with your own table. And people bringing you things, like the produce for the day, saying, do you think these peppers are worthy of inclusion in some of your recipes, or the fresh fish or something like that? And it'd be like,
where are you going with that, Carl Monson? Where are you going with that?
No. I just see you sat there, having a coffee or a beer in the morning in a bifana and appraising the quality, like a godfather in the mercado there, or obviously in Portugal, bacalhau, the codfather, the salted codfather of the okay, now Portimão, you mentioned the Formula 1. Have you suddenly got an interest in motor racing now? This is a good question, really, from Okay, so you're just boasting about it as a tourist aspect.
Well, it's something if it's available, it's something I'd like to do. The football stadium, by the way, it's right in the middle of town. You wouldn't even know. It's like the Portimao football club that plays in the first division.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So that might well be my adopted team in Portugal. You never know. And I'll invite you, and you can we can go and make some fuss and have a very good time, and then you'll be sleeping on the couch for the next few weeks.
Sounds great. I know of a good Airbnb. How could you not like a place called Sagres unless you only like Superboc? I don't know where that is. Yes, I don't think there is a place in the Algarve called Superboc, despite all the signage that suggests there might be. Jana says, don't go to I think that's probably Albufeira, isn't it? Albufeira or Villamora. So she's sort of resisting the appeal of the hot tourist hotspots there.
That was actually one of the things that we did. Sorry to cut you off, Carl. We were as we were going around trying to see where we would like to invest and where we'd like to live. Specifically, we went and saw Albufeira, and the tourism over there is a bit different. It's like like you and I were in our early 20s, like going from one bar to the other and having a wonderful time, and you DJing, me dancing, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go there now. with that description, leave that to the 20-year-olds. Having Frank around is wonderful, because he's such a fantastic cook, says Prosecco Peggy, and Rachel helps clean up the mess that sometimes even lands on the ceiling. What were you cooking that day?
I don't know. I was probably whipping up some kind of a sauce, and I'm quite sure Peggy pointed somewhere, and I was just like, "Hey, what do you want out of me?"
Yeah. Hey, Peggy, are you blaming him for the mess that Dave made?
Yes. But by the way, Peggy is a wonderful cook too. We in the kitchen, but we both know in the kitchen there could only be one of us at one time.
Yes, no, I get what you mean. With the best cooks, I think it's always like that, and it just stay out of here. The food will be ready when it's ready. Just do not come in here right now. Sorry, I mean real estate or visitors. I'm not sure what that's about. If that's the Albufeira Villamora comment. Joel is here, who I'm sure is glad to see you as well. Joel, Mike Campion, we have decided that an initial 6-month stay in an Airbnb is the way forward for us. A lot of response already. Interestingly, I reflects Frank's findings, re-property pricing in the Algarve. Good to know. Antonio F. No, Carl, just visited 2 weekends ago and enjoyed it very much. Yes, absolutely. Isn't it wonderful? And isn't it lovely to know that Portuguese people stay in their own country and enjoy touring around in Portugal itself? Great country.
It's amazing. For us Canadians, especially because from Canada, I can imagine this trip would be from Canada going to Florida, right? So and you see, especially in Portimao, there's a lot of Portuguese who travel here from Coimbra, and Algarve is a big deal. It's when they come, there are specific beaches where you see most of the folks just speaking Portuguese. So there's a lot of local crowd. It's not all just foreigners.
Good to know. Mary Marv with a bon dia. Bon dia to you, igualmente. Bon dia from Phoenix, from Hamed this morning. Good morning to you. So how long have you been doing your D7, and when will it be done? These guys are done and dusted with that, unless you're talking to John Rooney there, Nigel. But good morning to you, Nigel. Great to hear from you and your Airbnb. Good morning from Dallas, Texas, from Desi. Capricorn 12. Frank, Rachel, tip 2. When you go to Sagres, also make sure you go to lunch on top of the fish auction in the harbour. Look at this. Look how specific this is. Ask for Chris. Tell him that Rima and Chris sent you best chocolate brownies. So there you go.
Absolutely.
I think other people are going to be pretending to be Frank and Rachel with that tip. Joel, I wish Fairy Godmother was that good to me, but she's been on vacation for 43 years. Oh, Joel. Maxine, I think, wants to see the pictures. We'll do that in just a moment after we've said hello to everybody. Got so many questions regarding B&B, but can't be active now since I'm at work. We'll watch the recording later today, says Matthias. Okay. Yeah, work. I mean, honestly, we don't let things like that get in the way, do we, Frank? We also have an Airbnb in the Algarve Casa Chic in the Raposera. Best decision we ever made, says Capricorn 12. That's good. Rachel, what did you want to say?
I want to say that if he wants to reach out and ask any questions, I am new to the business, to everything, but I am available.
That's so lovely. Thank you. This is what this community is all about. Thank you very much. Wishing you all a success in your new ventures. Much love to you both from
Thanks,
sounds like grand.
One of the things, Carl, that I have noticed in Algarve, other than the sunshine and beach, is that it's not there's always cool wind, and at night up till now we haven't used our air conditioner or even the fan. It's very, very cool at night. I did not expect this. There's been a lot of amazing things that we've realized over here.
Yeah, it's very interesting because for a beach town, we find that Portimão is not very humid. Obviously, that depends on your perception of what is humid or not. But for us, because back in Brazil, beach towns are like, so humid. Over here, it's not. And it's very warm and dryish, no? Yeah. Comfortable, very nice.
It's the trains that you take, you come from the north of Portugal, the town that you stop in, called Tunes. It's it's birthplace of, I think, Paul McCartney. Hello, Garbo. So from Tunes you can go. You take the train, and this train is so amazing because you see all the different fields, oranges, all these different fruits growing. You immediately fall in love with the vista. And how our Algarve is set up. It's really, really dreamlike.
Superb. So Grandad Garvo there. Ooh, wishing you all a success in your new ventures. Much love to you both there. That's fantastic. Thank you, Gary. Good morning, people. Just checking in between jobs. Hey up, Lee. Good to have your company. Jana, I'm not sure about the Algarve, but in Lisbon, AO licenses are not transferable. She says.
Over here.
Yeah.
Very good. Parabéns. Boa sorte. Rachel e Frank.
Thank you.
Calma. Muito calma. Philomena. That's good.
Why stress?
Yeah, if it doesn't work first time, you come in with a muito calma. Well said, Frank, says Dominique. And another boozing buddy. Well, hello again. Greetings from Harrogate. Eventually made it back to the UK. No thanks to the carrier. Could write a book on what happened. Missing Portugal already. And he's just up the road, I believe. We'll come back to Paul in just a moment. Maybe you called them easy and good. Oh, yes. That's where it was. Okay, got it. Yeah, I'll stop doing that to women in public then. Fair enough. Don Francisco de Portimão suits you. This is your new name, Don Francisco.
I like that name, Carl. Thank you.
That's pretty good, isn't it? And Joel as well. Hey, Frank and Rachel, our new home in Alvord is just 20 minutes drive from the circuit on the back road. So there you go. Boozing buddy Richards there. Hola, DJ. Just tuning in. Always lovely to see happy, smiling faces on Expats Portugal. Yes, completely natural. This isn't plastic surgery, is it, guys? These are our natural smiley faces.
Yeah, this is how I wake up every morning.
Villamora's plastic facsimile of any yachting harbour resort. Okay, so a little bit of negative press for Albufeira and Villamora, but you know these places are very important to the tourism of Portugal. Of course. Hello, everyone, says Victor Marrero. Victor here from Tampa, Florida. We're looking forward to our second retirement in Spain and Portugal. Second retirement. That's a lifestyle worthy of emulation, isn't it? When you can retire twice. Bon dia, day 2 of Portuguese classes. Holy, is learning Portuguese challenging? I'm feeling really dumb, says Lonnie McLaughlin. Oh, come on. Don't talk yourself into that self-fulfilling prophecy, Lonnie. I have high hopes for you and your Portuguese skills. Frank, what do you want to say?
You and I will be in the same boat very soon. I plan to take the A1 classes soon, get to A2. I don't know how quickly I'll proceed to A2, but, we'll see how it goes. This is the town where I'll be taking those courses, and I really look forward to really feeling dumb.
Frank, I've been out and about with you in Portugal. You seem to me to be pretty good Portuguese speaker. What was it you didn't tell me, or were you just?
I really want to learn how to write very well and to read very well. That's very, very important to me. So I want the grammar, the structure very well. And plus, you have to remember one of the first things that we said to each other is that you and I mimic very well. So that's another art that we've got, that we can mimic. Like sometimes we'll take somebody's accent and we'll be like, we'll do it the same way. We'll say 3 words, and then the other person will be like, oh, he's a fluent speaker. And next thing you know, you're in trouble because you've now just spoken in that accent.
Yes, no, that's right.
Oh yeah, and I speak the Minas Gerais accent from Brazil, so that's also very interesting.
Great teacher. Bon dia, Rachel Franco. Good morning to you, Jersey. And Graça, Dona Graça, who you met, of course, is here this morning.
Hey, Dona Graça.
Bon dia to you, Graça. I hope you're well. Philomena, I like visiting the Algarve in the winter, especially Alvor and Monte Gordo. Is that Fat Mountain? Literally translated, Monte Gordo.
Very much.
That sounds like a nightclub, doesn't it? Let's go up Fat Mountain tonight. Hi Joel, hi Andy, hi Antonio from Victoria there, work in the room. Penny here again. Please open a bottle for me. I think that I don't suppose you'll have to ask that again, Penny. And Maria is here as well. Maria Caldera de Souza, Johnny, bon dia. AO is where I'm starting, says Lonnie. It's a real basic. It is difficult, and not all Portuguese people know how to speak Portuguese to the highest of levels. That's a fact. So don't give yourself too much of a hard time, Lonnie. You know, the jury's out on that. Portuguese people argue with each other on the correct way to say things. So seriously, I think you're having a little bit of scaring yourself a little bit too much, possibly. Then you'll get a lot of encouragement in this community. I might be.
You learn the most if you pay attention especially when there is, unfortunately, when there's an argument going on between 2 people. You learn the most during that conversation. If you witness it and if you hear it properly, you'll pick up a lot of amazing words and how to go about things.
Yes, some of your favorite vocabulary. I might be able to help with those Portuguese classes. Ben Austin, who I think is in Italy, I'm writing that this morning. Good morning to you, Ben. Lovely to see your wonderful family recently. I was recommended not to speak with a local accent in a second language in order to signal my lack of proficiency rather than fluency. So I agree with Frank. True, DJ. Let's have a look. Paul being congratulated on his new place. Raquel here. Bon dia from Florida. Carl, Frank, and Rachel. Great to see you guys still alive. I joined the White Club, even though I don't drink. I always knew you were Algarve material, like Peggy said. There is a place for everyone. So true, Peggy. Prosecco, Peggy. When we were buying in Portugal, we made sure we had every document we could possibly need electronically stored on our phones. Great idea. It made the whole experience easier and saved a lot of time. That's a really good idea if you can do that. Frank went to see your chef in Portugal. What a great guy. And the food was to die for.
Yes.
Isn't that fantastic?
Tiago is a wonderful guy, and if you don't say that, by the way, he'll beat you up. But he's a great guy, and he cooks well. He's got the stuff that he does is most of the stuff is his family recipes. Mm-hmm. So he's very, very authentic. It's not a touristy place at all.
All right, Maxime, I'm going to show you those photos in a minute. But what's this? It's a pleasure listening to you. I'm Mash Ibai. What does that mean? I'm. Is that some sort of description of a favourable description of oneself? From Maria Caldera de Souza. Let's find out. We'll wait to hear back from you on that. Bon dia todos. I'm a native Algarvian. You need a special dictionary there. So, okay, there are even regional differences that you'll no doubt learn about in the bars of Algarve there. I'm planning on visiting the Algarve in January or February, Frank and Rachel. What city is your Airbnb located?
We are in Portimão. And so if you go east to west on the Algarve, Portimão is somehow like centrally located. So from here, it's easy to go anywhere. We have, when you come to the Algarve, you see the train that runs along. It doesn't go inside the cities, except in Lagos, Portimão, and Faro. So it's another thing that's good about Portimão.
Take the train ride if you want to go to
the train station is inside the city. Yeah.
The driving, and especially these days when the car rentals are so high, the trains are very effective. There's also the EVA buses all over Algarve. Beautiful buses, luxury buses, and not expensive at all. You would really, really enjoy it.
I'm loving this location. Obviously, yeah,
It is
Portugal, it's of course, isn't it? You've got the estuary there. That looks pretty amazing. Faragudo on the other side of the water, looking
yes.
very lovely, folks. Let's have a look then at this. And I'm loving your marketing already. You've got the
Thank
pool, you've got the parking, very important. You've got the queen bed, which with I think that's referring to the size rather than what comes in it, maybe. But yes, so there's the queen. And it's not a queen supplied with every stay, and strong Wi-Fi. This is the hierarchy of needs right there in the Algarve, presumably. This is what people are looking for, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of times what I have found is you have like these, and this is not a knock on anybody else. It's just that people need to know very quickly what do you have to offer. So either I click on that or I move on. I think that's like the most important thing. A lot of the times, folks will say, "Oh, they will have parking, but then they'll never put it in parking over here, especially near the beach." Is something that is very important, and we've got like our own building parking and quite a bit of parking, so you can just come in, park. It's safe. You've got it's a gated kind of building. It's very nicely done.
So, hey, Carl, can I ask you to click on the last photo, please?
Yes, I can. What are the nightlife?
That one, yes.
Look at
So it's so small, and because I wanted to just say that the landscape in this portion here of the Algarve is very dramatic. But I can't tell very well from this photo.
You can see something.
But yeah, it's like full of cliffs. So the town is on top of the cliff and the beach is below. So it's very dramatic during the day, beautiful colors. It's really, really worth visiting. So this is Portimão, a photo that I took from dusk, like sunset. And
that's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, this is great. I mean, the pictures are lovely. It's a lovely, bright apartment, lovely and clean and bright. And then you see this contrast on you of the evening. And this is what we like, isn't it, when we're on holiday? I think specifically in the Algarve, you know, a hot, balmy night, you have a shower, you get changed to go out for the evening. This is the vibe here, isn't it? You get your glad rags on to go out for the evening for a nice dinner and take in the night air and the night buzz. Is that coming back at the moment?
It is slowly. A few days back, we saw it's slowly coming back. There are a lot of people on the streets, especially the Strip, which has all the Irish pubs and all the bars. Where it's unbelievable, though. I can see why a lot of people like the traveling to Algarve. It's because it's not expensive to have a good time and enjoy it. There's like I don't know. There's quite a few flights coming into Faro, I think, these days. And it looks quite busy, starting to get a look kind of busy, I guess.
Brilliant. And Victoria, loving your pictures. You've done a great job there. And of course, as a community, we wish you well. There's the link to it there. It has been fantastic to have you back on screen and back here with us in the community again, back in the bosom of Expats Portugal and Good Morning Portugal. Couple more comments to share with you before you go. Paul says, Rachel and Frank, we must meet up. I'll show you Alvor and the fish food. That sounds great. The fish food, that sounds like a sort of aquarium flakes, but we know what you mean. Paul Richards, Facebook user says, I'm no expert on languages, but I can speak fluent Portuguese and English. But in my experience, the best way to learn is just throw yourself into situations where you are being forced to improvise. I think that's right, absolutely right, and learn through making mistakes and being corrected. So immersion and I was going to say full body contact, metaphorically, not obviously not WWE.
Face the fear of sounding like a complete idiot, because in the end it will be you who's going to be learning, and the people will appreciate it. I remember I just went to the market to like buy some cherries. And the one mistake that I made, I was like saying cereja, and the lady, I think she was from like another town, so she was like, "Get," and I was behind the thing too, and she was like looking at me, and she was like, "What's wrong with you, boy? Say it properly." So I just said cereja, and I kept on pointing, And she goes, "This is wonderful." And I go, "Oh, quanto custa?" And then she was like, and then she really appreciated me in my broken Portuguese, trying to have a conversation. She threw in, I was like, tem menta, do you have any mint? She threw that in for free. There was like so much kindness, just because you are putting in an effort, just because you're trying to be part of a community. It's very, very important to learn the language in order to become a part of the community and not just be a foreigner, because you're going to be contributing over here, and this is the best way to start.
Agree completely, Frank. And Rachel, if you wouldn't mind taking some video of that next time it happens, of Frank throwing himself in fully and charming the ladies on the market, that would be brilliant.
So that day he was by himself. So
that day I was by, and this is what I've also been doing is I've just been going to these things alone, because I'm just like, what is the worst that can happen? What kind of mess can I get myself into?
And if I am there, it ends up that I communicate. So it's good when he goes by himself.
I go in, and I've gone to get cherries, and I've got the entire farm. I've got like a lamb roast, and I've got like all these different things, because I was like, "Hey, how you doing, paisan? Oh, how you doing?" Hey, you're walking by, and that person's like calling you over. Hey, come over here, have a look at this, and you're like, "Oh, I'll buy some of that."
Yes,
it's amazing. You become part of the community.
You swap the family cow for the magic beans.
Yeah.
It's great to hear that you've been allowed out unsupervised again. I'm so pleased. Fantastic, Frank.
My handler is very generous.
How far is it from Albufeira to Portugal? Jersey's going to be in Albufeira next month.
So there is the express road, let's call it, which is the toll road. It goes much faster, and there is the national road, toll free, but then you go through the town, takes longer. So we usually go on the toll-free road.
How long does it usually
So usually, I think
between 25 minutes to half an hour max.
No. From here to Albufeira, it's about 25 minutes. From here to Portugal is about 45 on this low road.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Donna, what is the nightlife and restaurant scene like in Portimão?
Amazing. It's the kind of nightlife that is not for the drunken louts like Carl and I used to be. It's like very nice. It's very nicely done. There are a lot of bars that play live music. It's a very eclectic scene as well, but then there's everything. There's jazz, there's rock and roll, there's dance bars, there's nightclubs. It's got everything, but it's not like Albufeira. It's very different.
Tremendous. Okay, great to hear. Rachel and Frank have found their slice of heaven. Just goes to show you can't beat looking about for yourselves. What suits one may not suit others. Very well said, Andy. Good morning to you. Alvor is amazing. I saw beautiful pictures of Alvor Beach yesterday. Actually, one of the beaches there. 67 kilometers. So, Jersey there from Albufeira to Portugal. You need a body on that balcony. A reference to some of the wonderful property pictures we've laughed at. I did ask them, Gary, if they had a body on the balcony, and offered your services. New here, could you give me the backstory? Oh, what's the backstory on Frank and Rachel? I think I did that at the beginning. Lovely expats from Canada. And they've tried Lisbon, they've tried Coimbra, and now they've fallen in love with the Algarve. That's pretty much the backstory, isn't it?
Pretty much. That's pretty much it. That's and we did the wine club together.
Oh yeah, we forgot to say we are wine ninjas.
We're wine ninjas. Carl and I did the food show together, which will be coming back soon once I'm settled over here, because then there will be the Portimão farmers market and me with my broken Portuguese doing all kinds of silly stuff. So it's going to be amazing.
Well, this relates directly to that. What mess can Frank get himself into? Answers on a postcard. I'm hoping answers on a YouTube channel at some point. We see the adventures of Frank in the Algarve and Portimão there. Paul Richards, 40 minutes on the N125, 25 if you're Portuguese, I suspect. Just for a translation there. When I was in Lisbon, talking of which, when I had a coffee every day in the morning in a cafe.
There you go.
For 2 weeks. By the end of the 2 weeks, I had improved my language skills. God, I love Portugal. Yeah, this is what Gilda was saying earlier on. Last week, is to go to the cafe same time every day. get to know people, they get to know you. That is such a great idea, Capricorn 12. And look at those last 4 words there. God, I love Portugal. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
Thanks all. Can't wait to go there, says Jersey. Lonnie, Porto is a ghost town from the looks of it. There are fewer people out and about this week than last. Wow, that's interesting. Thanks, Lonnie. Wow, can't wait to get over there, says Victoria. Raquel, Frank, are you still going to do the food segments with Carl? Maybe even with an Algarve twist now that you're a businessman? Best wishes. What's the answer, Frank? I'm hoping for a yes.
Absolutely. We will be doing, Carl and I have been talking. Carl wants me to show up at the farmer's market in my Speedo and do food shows. Happy to do it, as you know.
I did not say that.
Anything my buddy asked me to do, outrageous requests. He tells me, go to Coimbra, Frank. I go there. Frank, wear a Speedo. Go to farmer's market. I'll do it.
Well, Frank and I are also going to couples counselling to get over the Coimbra thing. As soon as we've got that behind us, we will move on to a little bit of Speedo action at the market there. And we'll be looking at how to do budgie 3 ways. Hola, bon dia a todos from Wayne Barker. Hey, Wayne, how are you? And Jeff Jackson, wishing you both much success. And that's the sentiment which I think everybody here this morning will get around, and wish you all the best in your Airbnb and everything else that you're going to be doing down there. Because it's not just going to be about the Airbnb. You're going to be living a life. You're going to be having fun. And we wish you the absolute best to you both. And it's been so lovely to track your journey so far, because it has been quite a journey, hasn't it, in this short space of time?
Same for us. And based on how we do things, I think the journey has just started.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what this means. Maybe, Rachel, you would know this.
Sunga.
What is a sunga?
Sunga means speedo in Portuguese.
But more of the kind of little leather pouch thing that a Brazilian man might wear.
No. But wife, this is Carl pretending he does not know what a sunga. He owns sungas. He's
I do not.
Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by this mischievous man over there. He wears a sunga all the time. He's probably wearing a sunga right now.
Oh yes. So, Sean, thank you for bringing that up, as it were. Jerry Lawler, hey, Frank and Rachel, funny you mentioned Speedos. Carl has been asking me about them also. This is just so untrue and so unfair. Bon dia. Hi from Ireland. Enjoying the show. I visit Albufeira every winter, away from the busiest tourist pubs. Albufeira has lots to offer. So this is always the way, isn't it? What you see and your first impressions can sometimes be a bit misleading. Yeah. I found that with Caldas de Rainha, actually. Love Portimao for shopping trips, but another city. Best of luck with your business venture. And thanks, Carl, for being so entertaining. It's a pleasure. It's easy when we've got lovely people like Frank and Rachel on the screen. Sean Patterson, I think, enjoying his Sunga moment there. On that note, I wish you farewell and look forward to seeing you soon, and all the best with it. Boa sorte.
Thank you. Thank you so very
much.
All right. Lots of love. Bye for now. We'll see you. There you go, Frank and Rachel. Isn't that fantastic? Frank's off to change into his Sunga if he's not already, whatever a Sunga is. I really honestly don't know. But he will be, before he obviously goes to the market, he'll be slipping into the Sunga. Jerry, Andy, everyone saying good morning to each other. That's fantastic. I wanted to show you those last couple of pictures of Pedroga Grande from Will, which you very kindly sent in, Will. So let's do that now. Oh, yeah, not forgetting, of course, I'm hoping Frank and Rachel might have these in their Airbnb, the Good Morning Portugal mug. Official merch, folks. Check that out, as well as the action figure that's coming soon. I was spotted as an action figure in a church there. How about that? Very proud of that. I'm very glad very glad of that from you, and thanks to you, Ty. So there you go. There's the Barragem at Pedroga Grande, where Will is on tour at the moment, and that's where he's having a dip in that lovely water there. It is amazing. To get over that way. Beautiful part. Another contrast altogether from the Algarve, Castelo Branco area, or Leiria. It might just still be in Leiria, that Pedroga Grande there. Thank you, everybody. What a lovely, lovely show this morning. Talking to Frank and Rachel, catching up, missing in the Algarve. MIA, that's what that stands for these days. We took a trip, says Wayne Barker, to Monsanto. Get there before the tourists do, folks. I reckon you enjoy it. It's quite a remarkable place, isn't it? With a little village made out of the boulders, like little hobbit houses. Bon dia todos, very late joining this morning. Yes, Ruth Rocha, at probably 1 minute before we finish, but you can always watch it again as you can with all of these. So I'll bid you farewell, and we'll see you tomorrow. It's Wednesday, isn't it? Tomorrow, so it'll be Ask Anything About Portugal with, I wonder who's doing that with me tomorrow. It may well be the Doc who'll be back. Yes, I think it's the Doc tomorrow. So looking forward to his company tomorrow. And yeah, have a great day. And we'll see you again real soon. Where's my outro video? Here it is. Take care. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao. Abraços, beijinhos, hasta logo. Ciao, ciao.